Hi, it's Roni, and welcome to Scraptember 2022, hosted by the Scrappy Sisters, Katie and Jess, Laura Alberts, and Christy of Christy's Beautiful Life. And it's also a Punched Out Thursday to die for, so I will be using my punches and or dies to create the layout. Well, I'm going to use one punch, the rest are going to be dies. I'm going to be using this picture of Jason, my grandson, when he was tiny, and three alphas because the prompt for the Scraptember is multiple alphas. And this Hero Arts die, and I'm going to just be using the ferns. I won't be using the mushrooms today. I have a die set that Debbie Pierce gave me for my birthday. I mean, a stamp set. It is a stamp set. And then also art by Marlene stamp set and a Stampin' Up stamp set. And the papers and embellishments that I'm going to be using is 49 and Market, Naturalist, and Take a Hike, I think. No, it's all Naturalist. It is all Naturalist. All that comes together and you punch out all those die cuts. I am putting this is called the Crosshatch, and it is a Stampin' Up one, and I'm using Water Can Gray, I think is what that ink's called. And this next stamp is art by Marlene, and it's that dotted one that kind of reminds me of sand. And I'm just going to adhere. Oh, and I did put clear gesso down before I started all this. And that abandoned coral is what I put in the background. And right now I'm using peeled paint and that stamp that Debbie gave me. And I am kind of just putting it here and there. It reminds me a whole lot of the place down there on the bottom left. And I did add a little bit there because it was a different color green and I wanted to, kind of blend it in with the color that was already there. But it seemed to work. And then the stamp set that Debbie gave me, it's got one that's got, well, it looks like bubbles. And I got one kind of too low and it was going to hide behind the photo. So I made sure I stamped it again and put it up on above where the photo is going to go, forgetting about the greenery. But, I was trying. I really love this frame. It is so cute, but it wasn't quite big enough for my photo. And I considered cutting the photo down a little bit, but instead I decided to cut the frame apart and try to fill in the gaps and cover the gaps up. This collection pack had like 6 sheets of paper plus the cover sheet, which on the back has a cut apart sheet if you wanted to cut them apart. And then 2 punch out sheets is where I'm getting all the die cuts. And there's still plenty left after this layout. I forgot to show my chicken wire die. But that's what that is right there, the chicken wire die cut. And I'm putting a little on top and on the bottom and just tearing it just to give the layout a little more texture. I love that flower spray there, but it's just a little bit too wide on the left hand side. So I am going to cut some flowers off and end up using them on the right hand side. It kind of spread out too much and would have went over Jason a little bit too much. So I cut it down a little bit, and I am going to put a flower that will kind of go over the top of the photo a little bit, but it is smaller than those flowers were. I think I might have called this collection Take a Hike. It's not, it's Naturalist, I think. I think that's what it is. But Take a Hike is really pretty too. This collection, like I said, it comes with all those die cuts and it has a couple of the bows already tied. Of course, they are paper, but they look really good on the layout, just like they're real bows. So I am putting one in the bottom right hand corner, and I've got to cover that spot up. So I am also putting Stop Along the Way. Now my picture is of Jason, and he was tiny then. I think he was about, 16 months old maybe. And you know how some kids are. I love those videos where it shows kids and they're trying to, barefooted, put their feet in the grass or set them down in the grass and their feet go up in the air and they do not want to touch that stuff. Well, Jason was the opposite. He loved grass. And he was really checking it out in this photo. And my daughter in law did a good job taking his picture. And yeah, this is how it was. I didn't do any cropping. She took it up close and personal, got right down in the grass with him. But he is so cute there, and I wanted to make a layout of it because he's just too adorable. And I've planned it a long time, and I just haven't done it. I kept thinking I'd do it with this doodle bug one with bugs and leaves and greenery, but this is such a pretty collection, I couldn't resist doing it with it instead. And here I am adding stuff to my layout, forgetting about my title. And I'm going to have to remember it soon because, it's got to have room to be on there. So it needs to be a longer title, well, at least 3 words, because it needs multiple uh, fonts on there. And my title is laying over there to the left, and it does have multiple fonts. And it is Botanist in Training, Learning from the Ground Up. And where I had planned to put it, it's not going to fit. I had planned to put it on the left hand side of the photo, but it is going to the bottom left corner of the photo instead. And looking at my layout and looking at the title right now, I am thinking maybe I should have put Future Botanists in Training. And maybe I will. Maybe I might use uh, another font and have 4 different fonts on here. I don't know. I'll have to think about it a little bit longer. I used Simply Perfect by Spellbinders for the first word. In Training is that varsity one, but I didn't use the outlines. And then Learning from the Ground Up is a Tim Holtz one, and it's a tiny one. But yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll use the memory box if I go ahead and put the word future on there, but I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know if I want that many fonts on here or not. Um, I'm adding the fern dye. I like to add the flowers first, and then that way I can tuck the greenery behind the flowers and, you know, build it up. And of course, I do like cutting the flowers apart if they're fussy cut flowers, or in this case, awesome uh, cut die cuts that you can punch out. There is no white around them. Y'all know that's like a awesome thing. So I got excited over that. I forgot to also show the Tim Holtz Field Notes stamp set, which those 2 are cut out of. Well, one there. I'm going to put another one on there though. And I put some old paper on it to try to get it closer to the look of the one underneath the photo. It is, I did stamp them on wood grain paper, but it was like a whitewash wood grain paper. It's pretty light, so I'm making it a little bit darker. And my plan was to get that one over there with the flowers, since I'm saying botanist. But I picked up the one with the butterfly and stuck it on there without thinking. I don't think anybody will notice it except me, but I think it'll go ahead and work. And then there's one that's specimen, and I put it on there too. And of course, I use the Tim Holtz stapler on it too. And then I'm going to kind of tuck flowers around those 2. And I think I'm getting pretty close to getting done with the layout. I have got to add my little pine branch there. I kind of use it in place of baby's breath. And I used pattern paper. It was a paper pad Debbie had gave me, and that little piece was all I had left after making some cards out of it. And I thought, well, that'll make it look more variegated, different colors. But I also inked it in. What did I ink it in? I think I inked it in that water can gray a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. But I'm tucking them all the way around the layout. And the ferns are inked in pill paint. But while I'm tucking all them in, I want to mention that down there below will be all the, well, it's a master playlist for everybody that's doing Scraptember. So all you have to do is click on it and you can see all of them for the whole month. And then also down there is the Punched Out Thursday group, and they will have separate links to their channels so you can see what they created today with their punches and or dies. And yeah, I think I'm about done. Oh, I'm going to put some splattering on there, and I am using Mr. Huey's bookworm. Oh, my favorite color. I go a spell using it a lot and then stop so it'll last a little longer. Then I'll go a spell using it a lot. And yeah, it's getting more empty all the time. But that's it. That's my layout. And I got over the iffiness of which collection to use for that photo. Of course, for his album, I could go ahead and do it in the Doodlebug, right? Because, I can do two. But yeah, I really like both for different reasons. One for kids, and one for just because I love it. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But yeah, there's my multi alpha title. And yeah, see, future would fit over there above botanist if I use small letters. So still thinking about it. And that abandoned coral matched the butterfly really well, didn't it? I just wanted a little more of that color on there. He's got a Spider-Man shirt on and it's got some red. And I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and add those colors in and use them on this layout. And that's it, though. I hope y'all have a happy scrappy week. Have fun on the Scraptember and the Punched Out Thursday. Bye.